we go. There we go. We're so back. We are so back. Let's go. Put this ambience on. Nice. And down there. We actually open the dashboard too. There we go. It's a bit loud. New monetization thing. I'm not really sure what any of this means, but I don't think I need to worry about it. Oh my god, we're almost at 90 followers. Oh wow. Oh boy, I have a lot to talk about since I wasn't live at all last week, and I probably should have had my schedule on Twitch updated to reflect that, but I was too lazy to log onto my computer, so sorry about that. But here we are, we're back, we're so back, and I actually do have it properly updated this time. Oh boy. And here we go. I'm gonna save all the rambling and everything that's happened for when people are actually here, so that way we don't miss it, hopefully. But yeah, I'm drawing Astarion. It's based off that one Offspring album cover, because I'm getting more into the Offspring because I like the music, and I'm like, oh, this is actually like very like right up there with what I listen to. I should probably give them more of a listen. So I'm doing that. Obviously, I tried to. Oh. Audio buffer. That's not good. Because it goes to your guys' thing. Okay. Snooze the ad. We don't do ads right at the start. That's ridiculous. Let's see. What if I just exited Razer entirely? Exit all apps. Because I think the way I got it to fix last time, it did like that weird audio tapping. I don't know how to describe it. Like, every time I like try to search for this problem, it's like, what do I even put into the search bar? Anyways, the way I fixed it was I literally just uninstalled the Razer apps. Because if I had to guess, it's like an audio driver issue, right? It's a bit of a tangent that I don't like there. Just make this longer. I did that, and it seemed to work just fine, and the headset's still, like, you know, functional. It's like, it's not like I need all the... And it's doing it still. Oh boy. I don't know, maybe the headset's just going bad. I don't want to spend money on a new headset, though. Technically, if I just plug in my Bluetooth one... Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's getting a little too frequent for my tastes. Uh-oh. Let me see. Performance. Startup. Disabled that on startup, but all of the Razer apps should have exited by now, I think. So I'm a little concerned. Uh-oh. Yeah, these are the only things realistically that should be running. Shit. Let's see, what if I... Control panel... Oh boy. It is never a good thing if I have to pull up the control panel. Sound... Properties... Worst comes to worst, I'll go ahead and just put in my, my Bluetooth one. It's... Cause there it goes. It's doing the thing. We'll deal with it for now. If it doesn't seem to be too frequent, we'll just roll with it. Because I guess at this point I could do one of two things. I can get a pair of Panasonics, right? Like little earbuds, right? No mic on them. Plug that into the audio jack and call it a day. Because this is USB input. It infuriates me that it's USB input, actually. I feel like it just shouldn't be, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, so, the next 4 weeks are going to be hilarious. We're essentially flipping the Thursday and Tuesday streams. So so Tuesday for now is going to be at night. Tuesday for now is going to be at night. Thursday is going to be in the morning, and that's because not only am I vending, or not only did I vend for the art walk in the next city over, I will be vending for my game store for the next 4 weeks. Again. So I'm really excited for that, but the event is going to be in the evening, and I think it does end at 9 or so. So slight problem there. Let's see. Or actually, I think, now that I look at it, I don't think that ear was supposed to continue all the way through. Let's do this. Clean it up just a little bit. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about all the things that happened. Should have pinned all of my socials and stuff. And oh my god. It's like a clicking. I know the I know it picks up through OBS and it gets to you guys, but I don't actually know what that sounds like for you. I think Drink one time once said that it was it was kind of like a, what's it called? Like the audio would just get super loud out of nowhere. And I just have no control over it. Like I'll find one way to fix it, and then I can't fix it. I don't know, maybe I should just uninstall all of the Razer stuff. But all of them are like disabled right, or like not running right now, so it's like I don't know what else it could be. I just hope it's not time for a new headset. I'm trying to save right now. I guess now is a decent the big reason why I'm trying to save is because what's it called? My registration for my car and the smog it is coming up, and or it came up. I got it in the mail that it needs a new registration for the next year or whatever, and it's also due for a smog test, both of which are a little pricey. And I gotta get the smog test first. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I am, I'm paying for it out of my own thing because it's my car. I pay for the insurance. It's like, man, and it's awful because it's like there's these really cute boots that I want, and I'm like, whatever. I'll just save for now, and that's just gonna be what it is, right? But as it is, a lot of expenses came up because I had to prepare for the table for one thing, and I had to prepare for the table for one, and then of course, Johnny's card ended up getting hacked, so I had to cover him while he waited for his new card. So that was another huge thing. That was eating away at my savings, but it's whatever. Or it's all good. But yeah, so I'm trying to save for that because I know those are going to be some big expenses that are coming up. But of course, there's insurance every month on top of some other things. So I'm just ugh. At this point, I probably should just plug commissions, but honestly, commissions really just cover lunch for me and my brothers. They were never meant to really cover anything at this point they can't really cover anything huge like that, so but yeah, that's what it is so far. The boots are super cute too. They got this plant and mushroom design on it. They're so pretty, and the site is buy one get one free. I'm probably not only gonna get the one pair just because what's it called? I don't need 2 new pairs of boots. But it's looking good so far, I think. I might move the nose a little bit more this way, just so it's a little bit more centered, so let me do that. Yeah, I'm liking this. Honestly, I liked it a lot already. I'm not going to do the red and black color scheme. I think what I want to do, I want to use a bunch of colors, really dark and really light, because I do plan on having the sun behind him. I want these chains to be glowing red, so I'm not actually going to ink those ones. And I want the colors of Cazador's palace in there too, so I think that's what I'll go with. I think that'll look good. I mean, it should, right? Nope. 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 Let's see. I'll be writing my next D&D one-shot for the store too, which is gonna be fun. What is it? My plan so the title of the one shot is called VentureCon. The idea is that, like, in the same way that we have like a bunch of like expos and conventions in real life, the adventurers have those as well, and there's going to be a terrorist attack because of course terrorism is involved when it's me, and I think it'd be really funny if I looked up the government documents and if I looked at the government documents again, I brought that up. And I want to be able to use, if anyone remembers the piano from Super Mario 64, I want to use that, but it's a mimic, so there will be a band that's playing, I think. Probably gonna use Devil's Trinity. They'll have like backing like instruments. That'll be where the piano comes in. Shouldn't be too bad, I think. Part of me is considering just switching to the 2024 rules for D&D because there's been a lot of confusion at the store for like building sheets and stuff. Usually the games work fine, like if the rules get like a little mixed matched, it's just some of the balancing gets like tossed around. Because some of my players are using, the issue is that some of my players are using D&D Beyond, and D&D Beyond is already like is already updated to the new rule set, but I'm like not on, I'm not using it because I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like having to like re-look through stuff. It's like there's a lot of like people just like using D&D Beyond to make their sheet, and like maybe I just should. I think that went too far into the thing, so did a little bit there. Then I think that should be good. Curl was driving me a little insane. Here we go. That down. Erase that. Actually, I'm gonna bring this further to the left. So just shift that. There we go. Alright, and then that sweep over. I personally really like how I draw Astarion's hair. I think it's very, like recognizably him, but also just like works super well with my style, because his hair is like insane. I won't lie, it's been a while since I've drawn him from behind, so I don't actually know how well that would go if I tried that. It has also been a while since I've drawn him facing the other way, but it's okay, I think. stuff under there. Let's see, it's 10:20 right now. We actually do that first and then do this curl. There we go. Let's take a step back. Save. I think that's a very bitey boy right there. Disturb. Let's go ahead and do that. And I was just offline all week last week. I was worried it'd be hard to make a comeback, but I think the algorithm is being kind to me this time. It was nice to take like a week off, just like not worry about like having posts ready, just to like really focus on like a lot of stuff like IRL. That was nice. Not that I don't focus on the IRL, but it was nice to have like more time for it. Yeah, I like how sharp that eye is. Give it some more thickness, because I like doing the eyes like this. Anyways. Finer details here. There we go. We do this. This is how I like to draw eye bags. They look nothing like eye bags, but this is what works for me. I don't like just making the like a gradient or like an airbrush. I think it looks a little bit more visually interesting if it's like this. Bring this down a little bit too, like round it out, I think. Yeah, that looks good. Eyebrows. This is looking good so far. I want to make sure the mouth is also very... Sometimes it's hard to draw mouths like this for me. I don't know. Like, I don't want it to look like too cartoony, but I also like it's just like a weird oval shape to do for me personally. So I like to add some points in there just to like really help with that. canines are not actually that long. Let me not do that to him. If he was one of the spider vampires from my world, then yeah, maybe actually. Alright. There we go. Actually, no. I don't think that's like centered properly. I think his lips are a little bit thinner too, so I'm gonna bring that up just a bit. Move this up too so it's not too distracting. I'll stick that up there. There we go. Oops. There we go. And you'd think I would have my hotkey, or I guess they're not really hotkeys, it'd be express keys, huh? You'd think I'd have that layout memorized by now, but I don't. How long have I had my Hui on? I don't really know. Yeah, I'm trying to think about, like, what did happen since, like, last stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is good so far. And the balance is actually pretty on point, too. I mean, granted, this is, like, very referenced, but, I'm not trying to make that a secret. I don't know, like, the album cover just really reminds me of him. I don't know how else to describe it. Just a little bit of muscle, he can have that. Go. Let's get the fingers. It's so awkward, like I want to talk, but I'm not sure that there's anyone here. Hang on. Let me actually start with these ones, this might be easier. Me, Johnny, and Clive had a long talk, because Clive actually wants to open commissions. He got a Cash App account, and he has his card now. So he wants to do that. I'm like... So he asked me yesterday, like, Kyra, how do you price commissions? And I'm like, well... Like, I can't exactly give you, like, pointers on that just yet. Because the thing is that he doesn't make art nearly as much as me. So it's hard for him to it's hard for him to say like how long it takes, and then also because he doesn't like make as much art, or like he doesn't do art as often as I do. There's also the issue of like his art style not being super developed yet. So so I told him. Really isn't like that good of a fist, is it? In a sense, I think I could just, well, I can't exactly just lower it. Let me see. I could probably just bit more. I'll look at reference and probably fix it another time. Because I don't think we're gonna get super far tonight. Because I don't know. We might. There we go. Trying to get like a nice soft corner there, and then. But yeah, and then obviously tried to give him some pointers. On like some other things, because I told him like there's like you can base it off of minimum wage, because I think that's always just like the safe thing to do, right? Like, well, California minimum wage is like 15 or something, right? So, you know, like, do something like that. I want to follow this line. I'm not sure if that's actually supposed to be like that. So I'm not sure, but I think, I think I had, like, good advice. I let him know, like, he's, like, well, all it is, like, if he wants to do commissions, like, he can open them, sure, but a huge thing is that, like, if he wants to do his sheet, he's gotta put his best foot forward, right? So he's gotta be able to show off, like, his best works. And the other thing, too, my personal, like, big advice for him was this. A lot of his art is, like, on small-ish canvases. Like, he uses his iPad screen size, which is fine, right? But because his lowest dimension is, how should I put this? Because his lowest dimension is below the number 2000, so like either length or width will be like 1600 or something, right? The resolution on his finished art is kind of low sometimes, and what I mean by that is, like I used to draw on like 1000 by 1000 or so, right? Never really like pushed too hard for 2000, and 2000. And, like, that was fine, but at some point, I realized, like, there's, like, not a lot of clarity, like, at all in the finer details if I have this at 1000. So, I ended up changing mine to be, like, okay, no dimension can be, less than, what's it called? No dimension can be less than, why am I blinking? 2000. So, my minimum canvas size is always, without any exception, 2000 by 2000. But usually my canvases that I do for all the art that I post, it is basically 2700 by 2300. That is the size that I've been using, or like vice versa. It'll be, like whichever, it depends on which side I want longer, basically, right? But the numbers 2300 and 2700 are the ones that I use. And I think they're good for that because, I think it's good because it's like, I have a lot of room both ways, no matter what I'm doing, and it's an easy canvas size to fill up. Like, nothing too, difficult there. So that's like a whole thing. I think the issue with him, hang on, I'm gonna reference one of my old arts to see how I did his abdomen, because I did do that a bit ago. Can't show it on stream for reasons, but I'm gonna look at how I did it real quick. I just wanna know what my consensus was on how this looked in my head. we'll go something like this. Just very thin lines. Or I think it should be closer to that. I should just look at an actual, like, thing of astarion, should I? Alright, let's do that. Okay, let me pull up my stupid little playlist. I'll, like, search for him there. Here we go. Anyways, what was it? So we spent a long time, me and Clive talking about that for his commissions. So I hope to God he's actually, like, taking the advice I gave him. I don't know if he drew today because I worked. Speaking of work, I know I posted about it already, but the dead bodies at Carl's is insane. I'm, like, losing it over, there we go, that's a good picture of him. I don't understand, right? Like, I have seen like, there was the dead possum a few months ago, if anyone remembers that. There was a dead possum in the bushes, and I went to go take it out, right? Like, we remember that. And then, today, I walk out of my car, and I'm walking over to the 7-Eleven for breakfast, as usual, right? I usually get my breakfast there. And lo and behold, there is a dead bird, just like on the cement next to the store. It's just there. And I'm like, what? How? Like, how does this keep happening on my shifts? Like, it's all, without fail, I don't think I've heard anyone else talk about finding dead bodies on their shift. It's only me. Or if it is other people, I guarantee you I'm also there somewhere. But it gets worse. So I'm doing a lot check, right? I'm checking the drive-thru, making sure it's all clean. And also just, like, the parking lot in general. And I get to sort of, like, the entrance of the drive-thru, and it's kind of L-shaped, so the entrance has, like, a corner. And over there in the corner, there are a bunch of feathers, to say the least. I'll leave that there for now. There are a bunch of feathers, more than usual, because I've done my fair share of, like, walking around outside with a dustpan and a broom, and I go there. There's feathers, and I'm like, the only time I see feathers a lot like that is I had my zoom on the wrong thing. The only time I see a lot of feathers like that is when there's a dead bird approximately 2 feet away from all the feathers. So I'm looking in the bushes, like, is it in here? Cause if it starts smelling, you guys know what's up. I don't know. If I'm really curious, I'll check tomorrow. So I did my lot check before I went on my lunch break. I go on my lunch break. Walk over to Albertsons to grab lunch. And what do I find on my way to Albertsons? But a severed bird's foot in the parking lot. And I understand, like, I live in the suburbs, right? I'm not naive to think, like, oh my god, how could this happen? This is so cruel, right? Nature happens everywhere. But also consider, I have lived here in this, I've been working at this store location for like 3 years now, whatever. What the heck is going on in your area? Pet cemetery. No, for real. Also, welcome, Sinbatson. Lovely to see you here. But it's like, I see a severed bird's foot in the parking lot. Again, it's not that I'm like, oh my god, a dead animal. It's, where did all of this come from? There are like 3 instances of dead animal, in that plaza. And there normally isn't, because, you know, I've worked there for a while. I walk around quite a bit, when I'm there. Because usually I get my lunch at either Albertsons or 7-Eleven. And, you know, I have done lot checks before, so it's like, how? How? Oh, man, I don't know what's going on. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I was going to offer to pick up the dead bird because I think by picking up the possum all those months ago, I have kind of solidified myself as Carl's Jr.'s dead body disposal. But I was holding my granola bar in my hand and sitting at the... I was there at the booth with my stuff, and I was like, maybe I should eat my food and finish it before I go touching a dead body. Turns out someone had already informed my manager that there was a dead bird outside, and she had sent a coworker to go do a lot check early in the morning. So that was like right before I clocked in. Just like, man. Oh boy. You know, I think I liked him better without these. Like, you can have like those other lines, but I think these are just fine. I just don't think it makes that much sense for him to have them. But yeah. How have things been since last time? I took a whole week offline, which is something I don't normally do. Usually there's always like extra content to enjoy, but not this time. If I'm ever in your area, I might avoid the Carls. Like, no joke. I have found so many dead animals, and they keep dying around the store. I don't know why, but avoid the Carls. This is obviously a bad omen. Carl Karcher's ghost has come to haunt us. Speaking of the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Karcher. Not really, he's like a convicted felon. Anyways, so Johnny got a letter in the mail, something about a Carl's Jr. lawsuit. He's like, if you'd like to join this lawsuit, you might be entitled to a whopping $1.42. Something hilarious like that, right? And the letter is like signed by like one person's name and then a Bernard Karcher. And we're like, Bernard Karcher? I wonder like what's his relation to Carl Karcher, right? So it's we didn't have to do too much digging. We found out this Bernard Karcher fellow is what's his name? Carl Karcher's brother. It's like, oh, okay. So is he like alive then? Because Carl Karcher died early 2000s. Look, he's dead, so I have no idea how he signed the letter. Unless they literally have his skeleton there, just like puppeteering the signature. My week was fine, honestly, not a lot happened. A week offline is not bad, though. It's good to stay away from social media. Yeah. I mean, I stay away from social media enough as it is. I scroll for about 2 minutes every morning or so when I wake up, and then I'm like, okay, time to get out of bed. The only social media that I truthfully, like, really, like, doom scroll on is gonna be YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, I don't understand the femboy outfits in my ads. They're cute outfits, don't get me wrong, like, I think I would definitely, like, wear at least one of them that they show, cause it's very, like, grungy and edgy, right? But, I gotta love YouTube, like, failing to get my gender sometimes. I don't know what it is that I watched this time too to like warrant it. There was a time, like a long time ago, YouTube was convinced I was some 30-year-old male and was like shoving these Sasquatch soap ads down my throat. And I'm just here like look, targeted advertising is cool. And I understand that some people are scared of it for like privacy violations and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you this: if they haven't figured it out that I'm like a 24-year-old Filipino woman living in California, I don't think you have a lot of privacy issues to worry about, because clearly something got like a little like misinterpreted here. The algorithm is not smart. Real quick, I'm gonna put lotion. I have developed a horrible rash on my neck once more. I'm suspecting it's a heat rash. I thought maybe it was from my choker, and I have to put new kinesiology tape on the inside of it, but this does not exactly feel like that anymore. Yeah, it is odd. It just suddenly flipped to femboy. It was giving me, like, female advertisement, or I guess it's female targeted advertisement a bit ago. And now it's doing this, or now it's, like, decided to blend the two, and I'm like, you're like, half right, in a sense. You got the femme part right, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, what can you do? Oh, I should actually, like, talk about, Art Walk now. Art Walk was a, success. My algorithm thinks I'm a lesbian, so... You know what? I'm jealous, actually. That should be me. My algorithm should be doing that. Real quick, before I actually start talking about, how Art Walk actually went, you know, the big event that I took a week off to prepare for, and then, like, just kind of, like, recover from. This is my favorite thing, that the algorithm does. Every Halloween, without fail, it's like, it'll give me so many Reese's ads, like Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, stuff like that, and I just have to, like, sit there and be like, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm allergic to peanuts. Oh, man. People will say, like, oh, there's an FBI agent watching you in your phone. I don't believe it one bit. And if the agent is there, they're clearly just trying to kill me. Anyways, Art Walk. Yes, so Art Walk was, oh my god, of course, yeah. RIP FBI agent, and RIP, me, I guess. Art Walk was a success. So, once again, I applied pretty late to this one, all things considered, because, I didn't have anything ready up until, like, I forget what day exactly. I forget when I sent the application, but I sent the application, and the Google form told me, like, oh, you're gonna get a thing in your email. I was, like, refreshing my email so much, like, where? Right? Finally, I did get it. I was on the wait list, and at that point, I just wasn't sure if, like, I was even going to get a spot, because it's, like, it's literally, like, in a week or two, right? Or by the time I got the confirmation that I was on the wait list, I think it was, like, happening in a day, or something like that, and I was just like, oh boy. So we got to the place, and, it was really hard to find, parking, first of all, so we just settled on this one place. And then we had to figure out, like, okay, well, where do we even, like, check in? Man, we had to, like, walk around a lot. It's, like, middle of the afternoon, hot as hell, and then we had to go back to the car, we had to go find the spot, and, it was the three of us, me, Johnny, and Clive. And the worst part about that was I borrowed a folding table from the game store, right? Because they said I could. The table, as Johnny was carrying it, there was, like, a little, like, latch. It, like, broke on... Like, it legitimately broke, so you had to, like, lug the table around like this, and of course it's, like, huge, so that doesn't really, like, work out that well. But at last, we finally, like, got to our spot. It was a bit of a quieter area in the Art Walk, so not great, but, you know, we got there, like, I was on the wait list. Like, I don't need to complain about, like, the exact spot where my booth was at, because I still got, like, a lot of people to walk by, which was really nice. Let's see, we got set up. Johnny got some Dubai chocolate, and I got to try some. I can't try I think most of the time it's pistachio. I can't try that one for reasons, again. But I got to try cookies and cream and hazelnut one, because hazelnut I can't actually eat. Surprised, like, one of my friends there with that fact. And yeah, so it was good. So, the stuff that sold, I have my journal here. I don't remember how many stickers sold. I don't remember how many no, I sold 5 keychains, which was really cool. Because I was worried that those were the ones that weren't going to sell that much, but it does look like the little like people walking by pulled through. I'm so happy. So the space was $15, and I ended up making $33 in total. So that is an $18 profit, which is really cool to see. And the best part about it is when I want to do this again, there's the cost, the materials to like get everything like, you know, made is going to be significantly less because I have the sticker paper, I have the lamination sheets still. I think I just need to buy like a few more lamination sheets, like, but they should last me a good bit still. So I'm really happy about that. People really liked the stickers. I obviously had to go there in costume. And the funny thing about being in costume was there was this one guy, right? He's there with his friends, and they stopped by my booth. I explained, like, yeah, I do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons art, or just fantasy art in general. And they didn't buy anything, and then, you know, I told them to have, like, a good day, and enjoy the rest of the art walk. One of them comes back. I have my horns, right? I have my horns, I have my pointy ears, and I have, like the studded choker, the spikes, and everything. And this guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, are you religious by any chance?" And I'm like, bold? What a question to ask to the one person wearing horns here. Like, man. Like, not that I was offended, but it was just like, you chose an interesting choice of person to ask that to. Person wearing demon horns, of course. So I thought that was funny. It was really nice. He just asked if, like, if there was something I could, like, he could, like, pray for me, and I'm like, hey, you don't gotta do that. And I gave him my honest answer on whether I was religious or not. I'm not super religious. I think I've made that clear. I think the mythology is super cool. I think the Bible has, like, good lessons. But, you know, just not really my thing at the end of the day. I think just living as a good person is more than enough. Like, as, you know, so yeah, really nice person at the end of the day. Yeah, that is totally fine. Exactly. I think he might have been a born again Christian. Maybe leaned a little bit more to the evangelist side of things. I'm not super well versed on Christianity or anything like that, but that was the impression that I got off of him. But you know, and then there were some people who came to the booth, and they actually played D&D, which was really exciting because I have unfortunately given myself like something like really like niche to sell at the market rather than something a little bit more like, I guess, consumer friendly, approachable by all audiences. But they played, and they were looking at the prints, they were looking at the stickers, they were like really excited to see everything. I think this was the same person. They added my Instagram account for their art walk haul, and I thought that was super cool. They bought 2 stickers. It was the druid and the fighter. So that was like very exciting, and it was also like just really cool. I'm really happy that there was a lot of people who did play D&D, so like they saw the stuff and they knew what was going on, which was great all around. And I'm excited that I get to do this again 4 weeks in a row because I agreed to vend for my game store, and they also said I can sell my art there. So I'm really, really excited about that. I can't wait. But yeah, $33. And Johnny and Clive also went to do a little bit of shopping, so I'm going to show off the haul here. Johnny got me this little enamel pin. Let me see, how do people like do this? Look at that. Very cute fishy. And then he also got me this little crochet mushroom. We all know I love mushrooms here. And then he got me this really silly fish keychain. I'm not huge on the fish aesthetic usually, but like for this, like hell yeah. Oh, this is such like a nice chain too. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Yeah, it's really cute. I wish I could have like merch like this, but I cannot. I do not know how. I still want to be able to do sticker sheets as opposed to individual stickers, but you know what? What can you do? I still have no idea how I'm going to do that. I guess the eventual goal is save up for a Cricut cutter. And again, it's not that I can't afford it right now, I technically can. But I need to save, because I have some dumb, stupid expenses I gotta take care of for my car. You ever think about that, right? Like, why is owning a car so much of a hassle, right? It's a necessity, right? In a lot of places, especially here in the United States, because in the United States, a lot of the cities were built around the time of the Industrial Revolution, so all of our cities are like genuinely like made for like automobile travel and stuff like that. So we need cars. We need cars in the States, there's no question about it. So if we need cars, how come it's so like anal about like having like insurance and like registration and everything? Like maybe I'm going off on like a limb here, but it's like while I understand that, like, you know, I get the license, right? Cars are massive. They're kind of very important to have. But, like, it feels like such a hassle, and then it's, like, so expensive. It's, like, half the time the car is, like, great. The other half of the time the car is, like, a detriment to my well-being. Okay, we're gonna open this one. Because I have Astarion's skin tone there, and I kind of need that. And then... let's see. Do I have something with his pants color? But yeah, I'm just, like, frustrated, because it's like, why does this have to be, like, such a headache? A lot of expenses came up, and I'm just like, bruh. But I also just, like, don't want to, I have Astarion here. Oh, I do. Yippee! Owning a car is like a pet that can fall apart moments and there's nothing you can do about it. I just think, like, look. I'm not saying, like, I'm trying to figure out how I should phrase this. The annoying thing is that there's so many expenses for it, and it's like, literally why? Like, why is there so much trouble for something that is a necessity already? Like, I'm already, like, suffering out here. I guess I don't need this one anymore, actually, so... let's get to coloring. And I'll just make up the nipple colors, it's fine. We don't need consistency there. I just think it's a little ridiculous, like, all the requirements. It's like, I have the car, I have the license, I should be fine. And it's like, actually, you need the insurance, and you need this, and you need that, and we just need to make sure that we know that your car exists. I'm like, you should know it exists because I'm driving it. Like, what other car am I driving? It's like, whatever. That being said, though, it is at least nice knowing I have, like, the commissions open again, should the need arise for it. I would plug... look, I would... honestly, It honestly is. Also, they are surprisingly fragile. It's okay. Look, conspiracy. Not really, but like conspiracy. Car manufacturers stopped making reliable cars like years ago. Cars are designed to last you maybe like 2 years, 3 years maybe, if you're lucky, and then fall apart. If you want peak automobile reliability, despite how safe we made them over the years. Yeah, no, there's no denying that cars are generally pretty safe, but here's a couple of things. The automobile industry no longer makes cars that are meant to last. They're like just cars that are meant to like get you through like maybe 3 years or so, and then they fall apart. And then, with everyone for some reason wanting like sports cars that go like 150 million now. Hang on, there's a bot. Let me just ban. There we go. And despite and because people for some reason want these insanely fast cars, for whatever reason, even though like they're literally only just driving on the main road. Cars are now a lot faster, and they accelerate much faster, making them incredibly dangerous to pedestrians and smaller cars, because the other thing that's happening is that cars are also getting, like, a lot bigger. You have me on the stupid automobile conspiracy rant. Like, it's bad. It's bad. The manufacturing thing of, like, cars, it's like... It's so backwards right now. You look at cars from, like, the early 2000s. Once again, point being, Gertrude, my 2005, I think, my 2005 Honda Accord. The only problems she ever has is basic maintenance, like replacing brake pads, and... No, that's kind of it. I kind of... The only repairs I really, like, made for her was, like, brake pads. Right? Have you seen that Top Gear thing where, they, dropped a Toyota into the ocean and it still turned on? You know what? I'm gonna pull up the clip. Just to prove that automobile reliability peaked, like, so long ago. I think it is the Hilux. Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna make a point here. It's I want the scene where they pulled it out of the ocean. I don't know if I'm gonna find it. I might have to ask Clive. But point being, I'm not gonna have the audio playing because I don't want to accidentally get copyright struck. Okay. Here we go. I can't believe. So they dropped it into the ocean and left it there. Like, if we go back a little bit, they've dropped it in, and it is sunset. It is now dark. We're gonna watch this, okay? They're going in there. And it didn't turn up until the tide had gone out 5 hours later. Yeah, thank God for captions. And there it is. And there it is. So, it's waterlogged and everything. By the way, not only did they, like, drop this in the ocean, they, like, dropped it off, like, a couple of cliffs and everything. This thing is, like, filthy and everything, right? This is... By the way, I think they found the Hilux that Top Gear used. I think they're trying to get it to run again, because it's been a while. It's not looking good. But consider, I think... Where does it go? We're gonna speed it up. Look at that! The engine is running! Like, right here. The engine is running! That is dropped. It is busted up. No, yeah! Yeah! Astonishingly, the Toyota was not dead. Like, cars today. Cars even, like, 10 years ago. Cannot stand this. But this Toyota Hilux from, I don't even know from how long ago, was dropped off the cliff, left submerged underwater for about 5 hours. That Toyota will outlive us all, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just, once again, to prove a point. Automobile reliability has gone horrendously downhill. And, it's tragic, honestly. But yeah, so there you go. There you go. All of my basic problems with, automobile stuff summed up in a Top Gear episode. Honestly, I should have brought, like, Clive here to, like, talk about it, but I'm sure he's, like, busy with his own thing. But yeah, anyways, all that being said, I have some car expenses coming up. I would promote commissions right now, but honestly, commissions, the way that I have it priced, they cover lunch for me and my brothers. I do agree with your conspiracy, though, because my mom's boyfriend hates every van made now, but swears on his Nissan Vanette that he used to have in the early 2000s. They don't make that car anymore. Ah, rip. Oh yeah. It is a major conspiracy. It's like very blatantly obvious to anyone. Desaturate that a little bit. We're not allowed to have like saturated nipples. Add that to the Kerr horribly out of context compilation. But anyways, it's it's a whole thing. Me and Clive are a little bit kind of passionate about it, because you know it's like it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like how much is it to ask for to just have something that, like, capitalism is so bad. Everything is made to break eventually, right? Like, that's why I'm trying to take really good care of my Honda Accord. I'm not, like, gentle with it because I'm worried I'm gonna break it. I'm gentle with it because eventually the fact of the matter is that, it will be harder, to fix down the line because there are going to be less manufacturers for the parts that I'm going to need. And that's just what it is. That's what I have to accept at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I'm going to need a new car at some point in the future. But I swear to God, that Gertrude, my 2005 Honda Accord, is going to stay with me for as long as she possibly can. Again, I haven't noticed any, like, real hiccups yet. Knock on wood that it stays that way for years and years and years and years to come. My god. It's always funny when I get to go on, like, the funny, car rants. I think his fists should actually be larger, huh? Okay, hold up. I turned that off. I don't like doing this, but I think at this point I've learned to stop caring too hard. Yeah, because it just looks a little, like, funky when, like, it gets that big, right? But that is, like, roughly about where it's supposed to be. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a little bit fuzzy, but you know what, we'll deal with it. go like this, and then bring this. Let's see. What else happened? Oh yeah, so, it is a car from Japan. These things seem to last forever. They do. I'm not sure if Honda or Toyota, like, still, like, follow that same, like, sort of thing. Because I know, Toyota's whole thing, it was either Toyota or Honda, one of the two. Their whole thing back then was, like, make cars that work. And boy howdy, the day make cars that did more than work. More on that too. Have you ever seen like the video of like the Cybertruck struggling to get through some mud, and like they're being so dainty with it. They're like creeping forward inch by inch through like this huge mud puddle, and then a Toyota Tacoma just comes in, barrels right through it. Like, come on. Come on. You can't watch that and tell me that like I mean this just outside of like the usual Cybertruck slander, right? Like you can't look at that video and tell me there's nothing wrong with the automobile industry today. Alright. Yeah, those hands are looking a lot better, so now I'm just gonna... Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, it's one of my favorite videos. Honestly, everyone should just like... You know what everyone should do? We should like find that video again. Like, next time Elon Musk decides to do anything silly, just keep tagging him in it. Like, hey, remember your Cybertruck? You have to, like, hold its hand as you guide it through a mud puddle. Look what Toyota did. Look what Toyota's doing. Like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that, like, so, like, funny how that works? Cybertruck slander is so funny. I'm like unhinged tonight. I'm so happy to be back. Hot days ahead. I just looked at the bottom of my computer there. I have been getting like heat advisory warnings from all of my devices because of course I have. I was gonna say something more about cars, but I don't remember. No, it wasn't about cars. I remember now actually. Did you hear about the Epstein files? Or I should say the lack thereof, the Epstein files. Because I love society. I love the world that I live in where the government can say, I love freedom of speech. Let me put it this way. I love that there's like enough freedom of speech and corruption that the government basically gets to say like, oh yeah, we have them. Actually, we were just kidding about that. There's no files. We really tried to look for them actually, and turns out they don't exist. Yeah, who could have seen that one coming? I just look like first of all, there was that whole thing with like Elon Musk posting on Twitter like the reason why they haven't released the Epstein files yet is because Trump is on there. Like, no shit, we know he's on there. I love how he thought he was like onto something with that too. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like ruin this man. Like, everyone knows that he's probably on there. Like, duh. Like, tell me something I don't know. Tell me Walt Disney's head was on Epstein Island. That'll be something. Am I gonna get sued for that? I hope not. Anyways, actually, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's, like, so stupid how that works. And everyone's upset. Everyone who, like, wants to see these files is incredibly upset. And I understand they were never gonna, like, release it, and if they did, it's gonna be, like, heavily redacted. But it's, it's still frustrating. Like, they don't even have the decency to give us redacted files. They're just lying now. It's like, oh, sure, yeah, there was never anything there to begin with. Yeah, I'll take your word for that, Mr. Corrupt, U.S. government. I'm sure. They're not even trying to. No, it's literally. It's like. Like, how stupid do you think we are? Look, I say it all the time, right? I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I have a little reptile brain. My brain is smooth and unwrinkled. Polished even. Shiny. I'm not that stupid. And they're getting away with it. That's the worst part. They're gonna get away with it for so long, because what it's gonna be is the only time they're actually going to release it is when all those people, all those important big names, it's gonna be when they're dead. When they're dead and can't face consequences anymore. And that's the worst part to me, because it's like, it's just so dumb. Oh yeah, there's the leaves I made for the thing. The Dragonborn stuff. All my half-assed attempts at okay, I like that brush. Go big on it. Or if a Democrat candidate was on there. Look, I don't care if I won't be surprised if there were some Democrats on there, okay? Like, I know, like, the reputation we have, but, or I know the reputation that Democrats have is like, oh, like, we would never do this. Like, we would actually never do. There are evil people on both sides. That's why I consider myself politically unaligned in all of this, because, God forbid I actually pick a side. You know, both sides have, like, major faults. There was... Like, there's some that just makes me, like, a little, like, infuriated. But, like, right now it's really, like, Republican side that makes me, like, guys, are you guys actually, like, so serious right now? I like how that looks so far, and then I'm gonna go down here real quick. Oh yeah, you know, what can you do? I live in a stupid well, I guess every country is stupid at this point. I'm convinced that the best way to live life is to just fuck off from the rest of society and just live in a cabin in the woods. Now, I know that's like asking the bi to choose sides. How rude, I know. Like, sheesh, I know Pride Month was over 8 days ago, but like, you know, give me a little something. Give me a little break here. No, I'm sorry to say that, like, I'm so sorry to sound like Uncle Ted, saying, like, I think cabin in the woods far away from society and technology is, like, the best way to live life at this point. But I'm inclined to agree. I was telling my friend about it. I'm just, like, I think before I would have liked to live in a city, but I'm at the point where I'm, like, so fed up with, like, everything. It's like, yeah, a quiet, like, cabin in the woods where, like, literally nothing can bother me. No, like, stupid technological takeover. No, no dumb, like, just, like, no ridiculous clamor from the outside. It's like, I would love to just be, like, away. Just away from everyone. Half the time. No, you're right. The full cabin in the woods experience is great, yeah. It's... I think I just need to go camping. I think... Like, I was telling my friend I want to go camping. I think I need to go camping. I think I need to be outdoor... Oh, let me not put that exactly there. I need to be, like, outdoors, touching all of the grass right now. Otherwise, I think I am legitimately going to go insane. That's not straight. I should at least try. But yeah, I'm so close to just being like, fuck off, I'm going to a cabin in the woods. man, what an angry, angry rant. It is 11:20 right now. Yeah. One of my friends really likes going to LA, and she goes like almost every weekend. And I think that is insane, because first of all, LA is so far from where we are. Like, I cannot imagine the drive, but she takes the train. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you could take the train, but the train's like slow, and then there's like strangers on it. Maybe I just don't feel safe in public sometimes. But, no, I can't, like, to talk about my experiences with, like, urban cities and stuff, they're alright. They're, like, they're mid. Like, actually C tier, maybe even D tier, like, area to live in. The one time me and my family went to New York was back in 2019, something like that. I want the sun to be a little bit smaller. We went back in 2019. Look, New York is extremely pretty, right? Like the skyscrapers and the statues that I vaguely remember were there. That, or I'm mixing it up with Rome. No, there were definitely statues, but it's like a nice place, right? Aesthetically. However, walking around there, sucked major dick and balls. So, like, let me save. I think it's actually been a while since my last Medibang save. First, like, we went in the summer, so first of all, extremely hot and humid already, and it doesn't help that, like, there's, like, crowds of people that you're walking past, so, like, there's a lot of body heat around you, too, which is incredibly frustrating. And then, everywhere, smells like piss. And then there's, like, all the cars going around, it's like, people want to live here? I'm sorry. Like, suburbs is nice and, like, look, I live in a commuter city. It drives me insane. It's literally just suburbs here, and our only, like, attraction, realistically, is the movie theater and the Renaissance Fair when it's here for, like, that one part of the year. And I guess, like, some other, like, seasonal event things. But, like, year-round, there's practically nothing. And I would rather be here than in, like, a city that, like, constantly smells and is too loud. It's like, this is, it just feels, like, so, daunting to live, like, in a place like that. I can't imagine it at all. But, you know, to each their own. I think the consensus that we came to was that, like, she likes the idea of living there, but it's probably, like, she only wants to, like, live near the city itself. Which I think is valid. I think that's a better alternative than, actually, like, living there, because, good lord. Actually, I think I kind of want it to be, like, just, like, the bottom, like, part there, and then have, like, some longer streaks. Oops. Longer and thinner. And we'll give this a little bit of a blur. I think 10 was actually good. And then we'll do the same to these. But yeah, let's see, what else is there to talk about? I should probably do the chains, huh? Yeah, I should probably get to the chains. What else? What else has happened? Oh yeah, so, this last Monday, usually it's me running the one-shots, right? Well, I'm still training, like, who's supposed to be our new DM when one of our DMs has to leave in August. And, they're like, he's this was his second session for the store, essentially, right? And nothing wrong with that. I was like perfectly like understanding. Um, I, what so what was interesting was that he decided to run his campaign at level 3. You know, nothing too like crazy there. Actually, I wonder if I can get this to like look like thorns, like, you know, like the Jesus crown of thorns kind of thing. Something like that. I'll put that up there. But so it was, so I let him run the one shot because I think he needs like a lot of practice, right? And I'm like more than happy to like let him have that slot. I think so. The first part of the one shot, like walking around in the city and getting to role play a bunch of like funny little scenarios, was really fun, right? When it got to the combat encounter, that's when the session, that's when the one shot kind of like went a little downhill. So I had a lot of like advice to give him. So to start with the combat, I think he was focusing too hard on punishing players for things that really shouldn't have been like punishments. One example that I remember particularly was my character cast Grease to try and slow down some guards who were approaching. One of them saves, right? One of them passes the dexterity save. It was a nat 20. Alright, sure, that's fine. Hi Kira, welcome. We're talking about D&D now. No Sag corruption talk. And like, that's fine. That's fine if it passes, right? The thing is that nat 20s, they're already, in my head, they're already supposed to be automatic successes. You get fun bonuses from a nat 20 when it's like you land a critical hit on someone. It's not how should I put this? It doesn't do anything else beyond that. It doesn't like you can flavor it like in a really fun way that it's harmless, but beyond just a general like automatic success, a nat 20 is just that. It is an automatic success, and you get to flavor it as you want, so long as that flavor is quite literally just flavored. The way he had phrased it for this nat 20 is, yeah, you tried to slow the skeleton down, but when he slides on the grease, he actually slides forward. That is not how that works. That is, like, genuinely not how that works. It's just... how should I put this? It's frustrating on the player's end, because it's like, okay, well that's, like, dumb. Grease doesn't even, like, do that, because when you walk into Grease, you slip. There's nothing about, like, speeding up, like, movement or anything, unless in, like, a very, very specific scenario. And as a DM, it's like, okay, well, did you mean for that to be, like, did you mean for that to come off the way that it did, or were you trying to go for something different? He didn't, so I asked him that, and he said it wasn't necessarily supposed to be a punishment, but, it was a nat 20, and I was like, okay, well, you gotta think of, like, something, like harmless then. Like, and I offered the example, like, okay, so the skeleton makes his dexterity save with a nat 20, right? When the skeleton slips on the grease, he actually does a cool backflip in the air, and, lands perfectly on his feet. Oh boy. I just noticed the bit rate. Ah! Are we good? Oh boy, I hope we're good. It looks like it's strong again. Not sure why it tanked there for a moment. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But, you know, like, the skeleton does a cool backflip, or maybe, the skeleton actually, strikes a pose, and, like, you know, something, like, really, like, harmless, but, like, something that makes it, like, cool still, right? So that was a big thing. Oh boy, this is fun. How many, I'm going to copy paste this, I'm not doing this. not doing this over and over again. But you know, it was stuff like that. And then even for the role play, I had some I had stuff to say. I think there was a lot of I think way too many perception checks, and there was a lot of stuff that that didn't sit right with me. It's like, okay, well, yeah, perception, you, like, it's fine to have perception checks, but, like, at what point are they too many? Or at what point are you relying on them too much to create, like, interesting scenarios? I think letting the players role-play that out, for one, makes your job as a DM easier, because it means you have to do less, first of all. And, also, it's just all of, it's, like, he's got a good grasp on it, right? Like, our new DM. But it's just these little things that are like holding him back a lot. Another thing that I noticed too, with this one shot alongside the other one that he ran to the store, he's very hesitant to hit the players, like, in combat. And I told him, you gotta stop doing that. Like, the huge issue to me, what it seems like, is that he's way too focused on making a story than he is a game. Like, you can be a phenomenal writer, but if you don't understand that, if you don't understand how to write for a game, your game's not gonna, like, it's not gonna come out the way that you want it to, and your players are just gonna feel like none of their choices mattered, or be, like, very railroady, like, you know? And, that was a huge thing that I had to explain. So, you know, I explained, like, allow more room for roleplay, don't, like, overstep in it as a DM, like, where you should, like, it's hard at the store to, like, really get, like, a lot of, like, good roleplay going on, because, you know, like, a lot of us have only been playing for, like, a little bit. I'm probably, like, the exception at the table sometimes, because, you know, I've done this for a while. But, you know, other people haven't, and that's fine. 12 on that first, and then... But yeah, what was another thing? Again, I don't mean this to, like, bash him, like, in front of a live audience. God, no. But I think just, like, you know, this is just, like, generally, like, good dungeon master advice. Yeah, but yeah, he's, like, afraid to, like, hit his players in combat, right? You shouldn't be afraid to do that. If you are a good DM, you will know when to fudge rolls and when not to fudge rolls, because according to him... Oh my god, we were just talking about you. Yeah, you are here. It's 11:33. Do not dox me. Do not dox me. We live in the same city. Good to hear the advice live. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to bash you on the stream. I didn't think you were actually gonna show up today. But yeah, yeah, I'm on the right layer. Perfect. So, gonna clipping layer, or make this easier for myself. So work less, smile more. But yeah, again, the big thing. Yeah, BRB, no problem, no problem. We'll be here until like 1 in the morning or something. You know, just, I need to consider, I should consider either pushing the stream earlier a smidge, or changing the day, because, what's it called? I have work tomorrow at 9 in the morning, and I probably should not be up that late. We'll end, like, maybe 12:30 on Tuesdays. I'll see how tired I am tomorrow and, like, think about it. Let's get the forest ambience going. I do love the forest stuff. But, like... I have work so early. 9 shouldn't be that early. That's, like, what, the standard office job, 9 to 5. It's just, I'm nocturnal. I don't like it. Um, I'll take 10 any day of the week, because that's not terrible, but, I'm still very sleepy. It's not exactly looking how I want it to just yet. Kind of missing out on a lot of red here. Let's see. Like, I want it to be glowing, right? But I also want it to be like a deep red. Let me see. What if I made this one normal? Ooh, yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, look at me being smart. Look at that. Wow, I didn't actually think we were gonna get to rendering today, but, here we are. I was gonna make a TikTok out of this, but, I checked the audio for You're Gonna Go Far Kid, which I'm pretty sure is, like, one of the most popular albums on or songs on the album, so, like, of course I'm gonna use that one. Or I could use Rise and Fall, too. But I'm too lazy at this point, and I want to get this done. My goal is gonna be having this on Thursday. Speaking of, oh my god, Luck Fortunel. Thank you for the Prime. Good use of the Prime, I'm assuming. Let's go. That's 8 out of 10 subscribers for some kind of goal. Apparently I have those. But yeah, just to show off here tomorrow's art post. Not that anyone has ever, like, I guess not that the art post was anything, like, big or grand to celebrate, but I'm proud of these. Look how stupid these are. They're not that okay, they're a little stupid. They're a little silly. But look at that. What is this? The ink spatter, I had to add that in digitally, but look at that. Look how silly these are. What is a skeleton's favorite snack? Where is the tunnel? And how do I uncarpal it? I think my mom has work tomorrow. I should probably, like, be a little bit quieter. I like these stickers. Not just because I think the puns are funny, but because I like how distressed a lot of them are. Like, why am I under arrest? My personal favorite is this one. I think this one was pretty clever. The mentally, I am here. The liver, I hardly know her. And then, of course, my tummy hurts. I think these are very fun sticker designs. I can't wait to make them. I'm very excited. Did you get my subscription? Yeah, I did. Did you not hear me? Thank you for the Prime. I'll say it again. Thank you for the crime. Thank you for the crime. Oh god. Thank you for the Prime, Luck Fortunel. No, the app is bugging. Boo! Watch on a computer. See, this is, look, okay. You guys keep having me on these rants today. I'm trying to focus here. No, I'm not. Okay. Secondary rant of today, aside from, like, the whole automobile industry stuff. I despise mobile sites more than half the time. I think the best thing to do is to have a website that you can optimize for mobile viewing. Take, for example, the Twitch mobile app. From what I last heard, and I don't use Twitch mobile because, God forbid I use Twitch mobile, the way that they decided to have the live streams, it's like a TikTok format. Now that I subscribed, I can go to sleep. Good lord, yeah, do go to sleep. It is almost midnight. I should arguably sleep too, but I'm here trying to be an entertainer. Mobile sites are very, like the Twitch mobile one, they decided to format it like TikTok, so you just keep, like, scrolling and scrolling, and the whole point is to just, like, keep you locked there. Chat, know that Kerr hates getting subs, especially the free ones. Yeah, I despise getting subs. Like, genuinely stop giving me money. If you want to give me money, consider commissioning me. Because that is the best way to support me. If you throw money at me here, I'm going to... I will be grateful, but I will be very confused as well. But, like, it's stupid. Like, I think the format is so stupid. for Twitch Mobile. Like, I don't want to look at it like TikTok. I would rather it like look like YouTube, so I can like see like, you know, properly like what's going on. I can read stuff. I don't like TikTok is just. I don't need art supplies. I do digital art. Good lord, you're just popping off there. And then recently, oh my god, this is the whole thing. Johnny, sometimes Johnny is a little nervous about like ordering stuff and sending it here home because our dad's kind of a stickler on saving money. Understandable, but like understandable, but still kind of annoying considering like we all make our own money and we're all adults here. So he had this guitar sent to his friend, a mutual friend's house, and we never got the package. So there's like a whole thing that's going on. I'm not gonna get into it like right now, because I'm trying to make a point about mobile sites. The whole, like, ideally, we're trying to find, I asked Johnny, like, okay, if it says for sure that it delivered in front of so-and-so's house, did the delivery driver maybe, like, take a picture of, like, the thing to confirm that he was there? And he tells me, oh yeah, well I tried to do it, but it was asking for like an account number, but it said it was optional, but every time I click like proceed, it just shows like a blank page. And I ask him, were you doing it on your phone? Not ever yelling at Kira, I would get disappeared Thanos stuff by everyone at the game store. Yeah, Loki. The people at the game store are a little protective. Little overprotective, I'd say. I can handle myself. Oh boy, you're gonna redeem that in the middle of the rant. I will finish the rant first. So I asked, did you do it on your phone, right? And he goes, yeah, I did, because I don't have a computer. And I explained that there's a lot of websites out there that just aren't optimized for mobile viewing. Like they literally only have a desktop version. So pull up my laptop, we find the order confirmation just fine, and there genuinely just was no picture to prove that. And the same thing for like a bunch of other websites. They will just have a desktop version, and that's it. And I'm viewing it on a screen that is this big. And it's like, could you not? And then it gets worse, because sometimes the mobile sites, especially like for some social medias, that be like, okay, well, we want you to be here longer, so we're just gonna make it like a doom scrolling format. And it's just like, could you not? Could you give me an ounce of like freedom? Like, it's so stupid. It's like, just come on. And then that's my whole thing. Like, I don't like, if you only have your site optimized for desktop, it's a bad website. Said and done. Alright, Kerr teaches Bisaya. Okay. I don't know if I have any new phrases I can teach here, but I can teach you some funny words. So, occasionally I can cue in on some words that my parents are talking about, and then I'll know like what they're talking about. And we're gonna go with animals today. So, Iro. I-R-O. Iro is dog. Iring is cat. Iro. Iring. I have 2 dogs at home. Duha mga oro. Iro, I think. Duha mga iro. Mga is a plural indicator, because of course we have a separate word for it. We don't have any cats. Wa ang iring here at home. Some other animals. Ok ok. There's a cockroach on the floor. I don't know how to say that, but ok ok is cockroach. So, vivid memory of when I was like on the floor. I hear my mom say the funny word ok ok, and I'm like, where? On the floor. It wasn't a cockroach, it was a really weird looking spider. Very plump, very skin toned actually. It was kind of freaky. Some other animals. Isda is fish. I know this one because every time I go to Seafood City for for whatever reason. They have the big poster there with their bangos or their golden pampano, and it says, "Is delicious." We have incredible marketing in the Philippines, as you can see. Um, Baka, with a B, not V, like Spanish. B, like buzz bee. Baka is cow. Baboy is pig. Manok is chicken. And I think that's all the animals I know. I think there's also carabao, which is kind of like a water buffalo, actually, so there's that. And that is your Bisaya lesson. You now know a bunch of animals. Speaking of animals, actually, so we're coming home today, and ooh, I had that open for a bit. We're coming home today from like dinner and everything, and I'm like looking up, right? My internet is so bad. Damn, it's almost like you should start streaming so people can throw you money to get better internet. Anyways, we're coming back home, and I'm like looking up. I can't tell you why I was looking up, but I was, and I noticed something, and it kind of looks, in my head, my first thought, like, oh, is that like a bird feather or something? And you know, after giving it like another microsecond of thought, I was like, okay, well, it doesn't make sense for a bird to be there, because like I know the surface is flat, and the bird wouldn't have anything to cling onto. I look up, I squint a little bit more. We have a wasp nest right outside our front door. Like, a little. I want to, but my internet is so bad. My stream is 4x4 pixels and laggy. God, yeah. I'm sorry. Like, things are looking green on my end, so I can't do anything about your internet. You should just watch it at the game store. That's what you should do. Like, leech off our internet there. It's a small wasp nest. Like, it looks like it just started. I did notice a little bit of larva on there, and a couple of like little buggers up there. And my mom's like, and so I'm like, "Hey, there's a nest." And my mom's like, "Oh, maybe like a little birdie is building another nest like on our front door all those years ago." And I'm like, "No, wasp." And she's like, we're all looking up there now, and it's like, "Hey, sus, yeah, there's a wasp nest up there." And I'm like, well, we should probably do something about that. So there's currently 2 camps, and by 2 camps I mean my parents. My mom is like, we need to kill the wasps. Like, no, like we're just gonna like get an exterminator and kill them, right? And I'm like, yeah. We could. I personally would like to be able to relocate them. I think the nest is small enough to where we could do that. It's just a matter of like where. I think we just drop it off at the park and just have it go haywild there on all the kids. That would probably be mean, but it would be funny. There's like other spots that I think we could like drop it off in a sense. And then my dad is of the belief that we could just leave it alone. Maybe I should stream an idea session. We can title the series "How Not to Dungeon Master." No, you're doing fine again. It's just little like minor things that you gotta like work on a little bit. But anyways, my dad is in the camp of just leaving it there. Wasps are evil. They are. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. And personally, I don't want to kill them, right? Because they're not doing anything wrong by building their nest at our house, right? Like, look, I love nature. And, I'm the only bug that I think I really have a disdain for is mosquitoes, because fuck mosquitoes. But like wasps, they're still pollinators at the end of the day. And sure, they're little shitheads sometimes, but, you know, I don't think these bugs are doing anything wrong by building their, a little hive on our front door. No, that's not my problem. My problem is that, my dad's just like, yeah, we should just leave it there. No, we shouldn't just leave it there. Like, I had to explain to him, one, that hive is only gonna get bigger, right? And 2 things are gonna happen. It's either gonna keep growing, like, outward like this, that's the best case scenario, or they're gonna decide to chew into the house, and And then, at some point, we'll have wasps in our walls. Now, I don't particularly like having, angry little buzzing insects, um, with, I don't even know how long their stingers are, like 1-inch stingers, 2 inches maybe. I don't really like the idea of having them inside the walls. And I told my dad, but if you like having them in the walls, by all means, go ahead. We'll see where that gets you. And he's like, oh, yeah, we probably should do something then. So I don't know what he's planning on doing. It's too small. In my opinion, it's too small to really warrant getting an exterminator. You'll wake up to wasps chewing in the... No, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They'll chew on the drywall. They'll turn it into a paste, and that's what they use to build their hives. Like genuinely. Like again, I have no problem with wasps existing, right? It's just they kind of need to exist in their own space. It's sad. I don't like saying it like that because, you know, they were here before us. Like, we don't have a right to say, like, what animals can and can't do. My cousin had bees turning his daughter's room into... Yeah. Buy a bucket filled with gasoline, seal the room around the nest. That's what Johnny, recommended. I think a decently sized mason jar will also do the trick. Again, personally, I personally just want to relocate it. The gas fumes will make them all fall in the bucket and drown. Yeah. I've seen a video where that happens. That'll probably be what I recommend to my dad, assuming he even like takes my advice. Because I swear, if the wasps start digging into the walls, I'm going to yell at him. And I'll be like, I told you this would happen. And then do it. I'm scared to get stung. My dad has thicker skin than I do, and I would rather have him do it. Like, sorry to admit it, but it's true. Yeah. Worst comes to worst too. I don't know, I'll buy like my own like sting-proof like clothes and do that myself, I guess. So add that to the other like pile of expenses that I hilariously have to deal with. Yeah, my dad is like complaining like, you know, you only have $46,000 or $4,600 in your account. Not 46,000, I wish. And I was like, yeah, there was like a ton of expenses that came up that I had to cover Johnny's thing, and then I have to like pay for this, and I had to prepare for this. And he's like, you need to learn how to save your money. I'm like, I am trying to save my money. It's not my fault I had all this stuff come up. And then, like, the next day, I'm sitting there at the counter working on, I think the Danica piece, right? And he goes, Kyra, could you buy this Sam's Club membership for like $20? Because it's $20 for new members. I just look at him like, you're the one who's been complaining, who was complaining yesterday about me spending too much. When in reality, I don't. See, expenses, you need more subs. New sub goal, get 3,000 subs. No, absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not. No, get Costco. No, okay, I was arguing with my dad a little bit over this. I was like, yeah, I remember we got the Costco membership, and I don't really understand why you didn't cancel the Sam's Club one. And then he goes, oh, well, they had the Sam's Club credit card, and the credit card covers the membership. And it was a whole thing. And he's like, so I just decided to keep the Sam's Club, and I'm just like, you know what, you do you, Dad. You're an adult, I don't have to tell you how to spend your money. Boo, Sam's Club. Damn, okay. You know what, this is the beauty of being bisexual, Luck Fortunel. I don't have to choose. Sorry, I think that refers more to pan, huh? Like, being pansexual. I might be, in a sense. I like saying, like, buy more, because there's less explaining to do, I think, with that. But in like a couple of ways, I'm probably like a little bit more pan than I am bi. Just darken up these shadows down here. But man, all of that to say though, I was telling my mom one thing that I used to watch to like go to bed to were these wasp hive removal videos. There's this one guy, I think he's like Hornet King on YouTube or something. And I was telling my mom about it. And then like I'm telling my mom about it. The way that guy usually ends his videos, he'll like take all the larvae from the hive that he removed, and he feeds it to his chickens. And it's so cute. And my mom's like, "Oh wow, I didn't know they do that. Like that's actually like really cool that nothing goes to waste." And I agree. That is great that nothing goes to waste. And I told her, and like it's so cute too, because like he calls his chickens, and it's like he has like the larva for them, and he goes to call them, and like the hens just come running. It's so cute. I love it. So yeah, there we go. And she told me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how they call the chickens back in the Philippines too. And I was like, oh wow. Personally, overbought the attraction for me and the wife. I'm trying to grammatically unpack that. It's not happening, but you know what? Good for you too. But yeah. So I thought that was fun. I think it's so cute that like people have like ways to like call their farm animals over and be like bark, 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 bark. I'm gonna do that in Minecraft now. New vocal stem unlocked. By the way, after talking so much about singing bugs, there's something I know stings but would be cool. I'll want to roast me on stream for how bad or good my adventure was. Okay, the adventure was not bad. Really, the big stickler was the combat encounter. Like, as I said, that was the big glaring thing for me. The only other thing really was just, like, I think relying too much on perception checks, because that is a trap that a lot of new DMs fall into, making everything a perception check. But, like, you know, we covered that. We covered that. I'm not gonna put you on blast right now. That would be mean. But, yeah, no, it's, I think you're doing good so far. I forgot to send over, my documents for, like, the one-shots that I wrote, especially the ones with combat encounters. Again, I think another thing, too, just, like, with the combat, do not be afraid to hit players. We can take a hit or two. Except for wizards. Like, having a D6 hit die is so funny. You're just... It's the second smallest die in the set. And that's your HP. Like, I was so used to playing Druid for a while. So yesterday when I was building Kina's sheet, it was really funny. I was like... Oh yeah, we're level 3, I'm gonna, like, survivability is gonna be fine. I look at my hit die, it's a D6, and I'm like, I forgot that sorcerers only get a D6, and it's kind of stupid. A little silly. Let's see, I don't actually, I feel like I gotta put, like, more depth and definition on, like, shading muscles, so I'm gonna... Let's see, let me... do this, and then kind of like comes out like that, right? I should have reference open, but I don't. Womp womp. What are you gonna do? We live and we learn. I have a combat adventure that I can work on. This conversation inspired me to create one. Yeah, combat sessions are fun, just as long as like, you know how to balance it. So, I guess to like sort of like elaborate on that, the what's it called? The aberration one, the one with like removing the aberrations from the city in the Underdark. That was like pure combat, right? Like all of that was like combat and trying to find the monsters and learning a little bit about them. The big thing to remember was that I still wanted to have like a big bad encounter, right? So, even though it was like pure combat, I was throwing a bunch of like low level enemies. Those low level enemies, of course, they had ways to damage the player for sure, and I wasn't like afraid of that, because like the most that they were going to be doing was like D4, D6, I think. Um, the big thing to remember was just like I need to make sure my players didn't like use up everything until like the very end, because there was still the big one at the end of all of that. That was a huge part of the balancing there. Um, and aside from like just making the little mini encounters themselves like relatively easy, like all the enemies die in one hit anyways. Um, Aside from that, I also have to like you also have to remember like setup, right? If a fight is really easy, it's like, okay, well that was really easy. Surely that's not the only thing that the DM has planned. And I set that up even more. There was that team in the beginning of the one shot that was like, oh, well, I know the guildmaster said don't do this, but what if we did? And what if we like proved that we were capable of ranking up to the next thing on the leaderboard? And then what did they do? They bit off more that they could chew, and they roped the players in to doing this huge combat thing. If I look at the stomach slug, right? I just need to look at some stats on the monsters I want to use. Yeah, understandable. We all do. We all do that. Let me pull it up right now. I could probably even just like have the link there for anyone who wants to read it. Which one was it? Alleyways and Aberrations. That's what it was. Go ahead and just make this shareable real quick. Anyone with the link, copy. I hope I don't regret putting that there in the thing, but people theoretically already know my full name, so I think it's okay. They just can't know where I live. Looking at the stomach slug. Okay, so the Elder Stomach Slug, the big fight at the beginning. I had it 80 HP, AC 14. It can use, and the actions were Acid Spray, Sweeping Strike, and it had resistance to non-magical piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage. And anytime you did hit it with one of those melee attacks, it would retaliate with a feat called Corrosive Bleed Out. The Sweeping Strike allowed the Stomach Slug to lash out its tail against 1 to 3 targets, dealing 1d6 bludgeoning on a hit. The only thing being that those 3 to 6 targets have to be within 10 feet of each other, I think, something like that. I didn't write it down, but I just knew in my head, like, they need to be, like, in close-ish proximity to each other, right? So I have all of that, and I don't necessarily know the CR for this kind of monster, because I made this thing up, right? Like, this thing doesn't exist. I would put it somewhere around, like, 3, maybe, depending on, like, a couple of things. If I bumped up the HP even more, like, let's say I gave it, 140 HP, this thing would be, like, incredibly tanky and hard to get through, especially with only, like, a few players. But we had a big party that day, so it wasn't that big of a problem. And I also have it so, like, the NPCs are also there. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing to figure out. You don't necessarily need to use stat blocks, but I do like referencing them for a little bit of help, or even just like looking at like different spell lists for different actions and stuff. And we'll just like reflavor it. Like I say, like acid spray, or it says the cantrip acid spray. What I actually mean is like this thing like vomits on you, like it releases like a horrendous bile towards you, and it eats away at your armor, stuff like that. So that's how I worked with like balancing that, and then once again, you know, just like I think having like the extra party members there as like NPCs. I forget what they were called. I think they were called the Shade Walkers. That was the little like rookie team that bit off more than they could chew. Um, having all of them there, I think helps a little bit too, because if you throw something really strong at the players, and you're not anticipating a big party size, you can always like add in some NPCs to help them. There's like tons of things that you can do. Like even like if you really want to use like high level monsters, you are more than welcome to use the high level monsters. You just gotta like figure out a way like, okay, well, how do I weaken it? How do I give the players a little bit more help? Something that I did I'm gonna close this, for the Halloween one shot that I wrote, I threw a Zorn at a bunch of level 5 players, and I checked the CR calculator to see, like, am I making a mistake with this? And every single time, no matter what I did, it said yes. Like, this is going to be a difficult encounter. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see we'll see then. So what did I do? In the battlefield, it wasn't just like the Zorn and the players. There were a bunch of explosive barrels. CR calculator, you don't know? This is for 5th edition, but I think this is it. Yes, this. This is a little website where you can put the number of party members and the character levels and the number of monsters and the monster challenge rating, and you can figure out the encounter difficulty, or the projected encounter difficulty. It's not 100% accurate, it's not a completely soundproof thing, but it does give you like a rough estimate as to how something might look, as to how an encounter might look if you were to run it. So once again, it said the Zorn against a bunch of level 5 characters, let's say 2 to 4, because that's usually my projected party size, or my ideal party size. That was going to be a tough encounter, like, extremely difficult. And I was like, okay, well, how can I make this a little bit easier? So what did I do? Rather than just weaken the Zorn, I added a bunch of explosive barrels all over the place. And I made it so that the Zorn could have a condition called Cracked. Anytime you successfully had a barrel explode on the Zorn, its skin, its like natural armor would crack a little bit more, and the damage against it would increase. I think like you got to add like a bonus damage to it. I think that was a great way to handle it. And of course, the Zorn could also throw the barrels back at the players, which I think is just like a silly thing to do. Just like you can do all kinds of stuff like that. Because the other thing about the monsters is that you also have to remember the environment that you're in. Like, yeah, fighting, let's say, a bunch of drakes is maybe a little intimidating for a party of rookies, but let's say the drakes were, I don't know, hindered by water, and the party had like a bunch of ranged weapons that they could throw at them. You know, not exactly not exactly anything to like worry too hard about. So it's stuff like that. There's more than just the monster and the CR. There's the environment and other like ways to help the players. There's like NPCs. You can have help the players, just all kinds of stuff. And it's like just important to remember. I've learned to use the environment a bit more too, because it is something that you have to get used to, because sometimes you're just never thinking about like, okay, well, what does the battlefield actually look like? Let's see, I'm trying to think of an example. But yeah. Another thing too, I don't think it's important to like use like really like high level or iconic monsters too. You can use them for combat. You don't have to use them for combat, I mean. The worm watching one, for example, that one I think was very was one of my best written ones, because I liked that like the dragon the draconic beasts played a huge role in that storyline, but it wasn't the dragons that you were fighting, it was the poachers. I think it's like a good twist. I think it's a great way to still incorporate dragons for, you know, level 1 characters. Giving them, like, putting them in a sanctuary where dragonkind gets taken care of. It's all kinds of things. If I have a one-shot ready, can I come to the store on another day besides Monday? I think I would recommend that. It's just, I can't guarantee that you will get players is the one thing. And I can't guarantee that I'll show up either, because I will probably be, like, dead tired from work. But, or alternatively, too, you don't even have to come to the store if you want. Well, actually, no, if you're having trouble watching the stream, I was going to, like, recommend, like, a Discord call on the store Discord, but, that might be out of question if, internet is not good. Because I think it would be good to have it on, like, a different day than Monday, just, like, so people, like, you know, if they're expecting me, I should probably be there. What if I run it at your workplace? Yeah, you could come to Carl's Jr. I won't get in the way of that. I mean, I don't think the managers will stop you, and, like, if I know you too, like, you could probably do that. Just, like, you know, like, buy something before you sit down. We've had enough, like, with, like, loitering, especially with, like, teenagers. Like, they'll, like, order fries, and then they sit there for hours, make a mess, and then they leave, and you're just, like, looking at them like, do your parents just not teach you manners? Do your parents even love you? It sucks. No, it super sucks. Especially, like, when school's in session. Like, well, the teenagers that have been coming in, like, every day, they're fine. They're, like, pretty well behaved. Some of the other ones just aren't. The middle schoolers are the real, ones that I, like, absolutely despise. Like, I am not looking forward to school being back in session, because that means they're just gonna come in again. And I'm like, God damn it, I hate you kids. They're there because they don't want to deal with their parents. I think it's the opposite. I think they're there because their parents don't want to deal with them. Middle schoolers are trying their best to test boundaries. Oh, they will be tested, alright. I don't know if I told you this, but there is an axe that we keep in the walk-in freezer at the Carl's Jr. Now, the axe is there because, on the off chance that the freezer door gets stuck, you have a way to bust out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna go crazy psycho axe murder on the middle schoolers, but it would be really funny. Yeah. I have considered, actually, like, unironically, like, could I make a D&D one-shot out of Carl's Jr.? Do you know a WWE wrestler that pulls people underground? I do not watch wrestling, unfortunately. Nor do I watch a lot of sports. I play D&D and I draw. I feel like that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But anyways, go on. I have a giant coat that looks like it. Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, what's it called? I'm not looking forward to school being back in session, basically. I don't like children. Like, at all. I hate kids. You heard it here. If it's for the kids, I want nothing to do with it. If anything, maybe I shouldn't threaten to murder children on the internet. But here's the thing. Murder, I think, that some people, like, complain about, like, comedy. Like, oh, comedy, like, you people are, like, too sensitive to take a joke. Like, you're just telling the wrong jokes, right? Violence is a great comedic tool, I think, because violence doesn't discriminate against anyone. Violence is great because you can kill anyone, and it's funny. I could wear it and a fedora and sit menacingly in the corner while growling at you fries. Dude, these kids don't care. Like, we have threatened to call the police on them a few times. But like that's how serious it is. Order 66 younglings. We did an emote that says Order 66. We have a bunch of funny emotes if you look. We have to actually list off the real names in order. It's the one with the thumbs up is pretend I'm an Asian food mascot. The one with the knife is angry. The other one is supposed to be Sag, but I don't think Twitch liked me using that one. And the other one was obligatory poggers. And then of course we have my hilariously photoshopped NFT professor. Comedic violence is some of the ultimate form of comedy. Some say final. Yep, there it is. I don't know why the hype one is there. I tried removing it, but it didn't really work. So I guess we just have that one there. Yeah. The knife one is there for reasons. We'll say that. Hang on. Not exactly what I wanted to do. But yeah, you gotta love violence. Comedic violence is probably some of the best violence that we have out there. I really am just like screaming. At some point, I think it was last week or something. Maybe it must have been last week. My shift started today, and I just got back from all my days off. Last week, I said something. I forgot what it was exactly. But I made a joke. It might have been the spiking the lemonade with meth, because we got a thing at the store. So Carl's Jr. We're gonna be doing like a sour blue raspberry frozen lemonade. It's a blue raspberry slushy, only like hilariously sour to the point where it's not really that good anymore. So the way that we have to mix it, we mix it with our lemonade. It's these little, like, blue raspberry sour crystals. And me and one of the shift leaders were looking at it, and it's like, this looks like meth. This looks like we're putting meth in the lemonade. So that's what we did. I took a picture of the sour blue crystal packet, and I sent it to my friends with the caption, spiking the lemonade with meth until somebody notices, day one. And I was like spewing that joke a bit, and I was like, I turned around because I heard someone come in, right? Thank God, I think it was just like another employee or something. And I was just like, man, I really gotta be careful. I should probably stop making jokes about poisoning the customers. Because the other joke about poisoning the customers that I make is, I hate making the milkshakes at Carl's, because they're stupid, and if we run out of ice cream, it's especially bad, because then I have to like scoop them really fast, but then it hurts my wrist because the ice cream is hard, and the ice cream is like so frozen that even like the hot water and the spoon doesn't really work. So one of the jokes that I like to say sometimes is like, stop, or like we have the happy hour, right, 2 to 5, and then like happy hour will come around. I'll be like, you know what, unhappy hour, for the next 3 hours I'm pouring bleach in the shakes. Once again, I should probably stop joking about poisoning people, but until I find a lawsuit in my mailbox, I am not stopping. Because, you know, I think everyone within reason, like, knows that I'm just, like, kidding, right? Like, if I was actually going to poison people, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't be, like, shouting it at the top of my lungs while I'm mixing the shake. Like, you don't just announce that you're going to poison someone if you want to poison someone, right? So I think we all know that I'm joking. I think. I just need to be careful. Like, one day corporate's gonna come in and I'm gonna, like, let that spill and they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have a talk. And I'm like, I'm gonna lose my joking privileges. I hate corporate. I would blow them up. The other joke, I need to stop making these, like, hilariously threatening jokes. The other joke that I was making, because I hate the district manager here, because she's actually, like, a bitch. More on that in a moment. like, I was, like, joking when I had the stomach flu, like, oh no, I had the stomach flu and I come to work and yada yada. I was just like, can you imagine if, like, she pulls up here to the drive-thru and I'm like, hi, would you like to scan? And I just, like, throw up all over her, like, just vomit everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, that was such a terrible mistake. I'm really so sorry that I threw up all over you. Man, yeah, that sucks. I joke about, like, accidentally doing that all the time. I'm never gonna come into work with a stomach flu, by the way. Like, throwing up on the district manager is not worth the amount of people I would probably, like, get sick. So, would never do that. Just for the record, before I incriminate myself. I swear, I have, like, the most incriminating live streams. You need to watch The Amazing Digital Circus. When I remember to, because I'm riddled with horrible, theoretical, ADHD, and I don't remember to watch. I don't have the attention span to watch shows sometimes. I'm hilariously undiagnosed. I don't think it's. Part of me is like, maybe it is ADHD, maybe it isn't. Probably is mostly autism, all things considered. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm still. Do you remember getting your commission pricing ready? I was thinking about it today. Until I wasn't. And then I didn't think about it until now. I should probably do that. Should I do that on stream, guys? Do you want to see me do the thing on stream? Look, I have it, like, right here. Let me just make sure that saves. I think it will. Open this. Where is it? God frickin' damn it, where is... I need to find a way to organize this. I probably will not organize it. Man, it's really this far back? That's the cover page. Here's the physical commission sheet. Look at this. Look at that. Look at all of that art that needs to be updated, like, right now. I will do it later. But, what did we say? I vaguely remember the prices. Where did it go? God, okay, look. I'm doing it right now. Okay? We raised all of this by 5. Because nobody ever... Wait, what did that say before? I think we meant 30, right? 30 and then 35. Shit. We raised all of this by 5. And we're getting rid of the sketch option. And we're changing the, so, like, everything's just going to come inked. Flats are still going to be $1, because I literally just use a fill bucket. And the render is at 15. There. It's updated. Ta-da! I'll update, like, the rest of, like, the information, like, another time. If I commission a bust for a character, but she is very busty, does it pricing increase by size? Do you understand what a bust is? It's... I have the line right. Well, I mean, yeah, I can, like, move it down a little bit more, I guess, but, the answer is no. Oh, well, I'll tell you that right now. I'm not doing, like, all of that on stream. I mean, fun on Busty, yeah. Well, what was that joke that one of the percussionists in marching band said a while ago? Like, what's the difference between a lobster with big boobs and a very dirty bus station? One's a busty crustacean and the other is a crusty bus station. Something like that. I don't really remember the exact phrasing on that, but that is the punchline. The crusty bus station or the busty crustacean. I want to... I think I need to be shot 4 times in the chest. There was a strange rumbling. think we're good. Sorry, it's just the demons in my room. My room's got demons. Usual. I'm kidding. I don't think it has demons. Or I think it used to. I'm always like so on like the supernatural stuff occasionally. I think I believe in it enough to be like, okay, well yeah, let's not like let's not test the waters too much. Like, you don't want to accidentally actually piss off a demon. But other times I'm like, okay, that's obviously fake. That obviously didn't happen. That never will happen. Well, like, for some reason, me, Johnny, and maybe Clive, I don't know, we were certain that this room that I'm in right now was haunted to some extent. Like, there was just like some bad presence in this room. Nope, I think that puns are the lowest form of comedy, but when wielded by a master, it is a real life version of vicious mockery. Basically, yeah. We were like positive that this room was haunted. I can't remember any like exact like instances off the top of my head that like ring any bells or anything. But I do remember just, like, this room made me so uncomfortable, and it wasn't just the fact that the stupid AC vent here does not work. It was really like, something is here. Something is here with me, and I need to get out. I have seen ghosts. You and me too. You and me both, man. I be seeing things sometimes. My parents do not like, did not enjoy raising me when I was little, for those reasons. My dad has, like, memories, this one like core memory. I'm sitting there, I'm like really young, so he's feeding me, and I just like point at him like, someone walked behind you. His blood went so cold. I promise you, if I have kids and one of them does that to me, I'm kicking the child. So I believe you. You gotta buy sage plants so you can burn it. No, like me and ghosts were chill. We're chill like that. Did I tell you I was possessed by my granddad once? Did I ever... I think I told that story on stream. I don't know if I ever told you specifically at the game store or anything. Because I know we had that conversation about sleep paralysis, demons, and stuff. No way. Yeah, way. Okay, so it was my first time in Philippines. We're with my mom's family, and, also, this might be the last bit before I end stream. I'm gonna go ahead and just end it early. I have work at 9 tomorrow. I probably shouldn't, like, be up, like, past 1. So I think I will change it on the schedule so that it reflects properly. But anyways, so we're there in Philippines, and one thing that, you know, my mom's side of the family decides to do, as they usually do when they're all there, is, visit Grandpa's grave. Old Grandpa. I've never met this man. I'm telling this ghost story first. I've never met my grandpa on my mom's side. I've met Lolo and Lola. Those are the ones on my dad's side. My grandma on my mom's side, I call Ama. So, no, when I say grandpa, it's my mom's dad, not my dad's dad. Lolo is very different from grandpa. And stream your Dungeon Master adventures. Eventually, maybe one day we'll have, like, Dungeon Master Workshop free or something on the stream or whatever. Anyways, so we go visit his grave, and I'm like looking at it like so intensely. I don't even remember his name. I know nothing about this man, and I'm like looking at it, right? And then I start crying, but like my voice isn't shaky. I'm not like sobbing or anything. There's just tears rolling down my cheek. Happening. I have a thought in the back of my head. I go to my mom and I'm like, I think it's Grandpa. She's like, I think it is too, because here's what she told me. Every time they went home when he was alive, every time they went home, he always cried. He was always so happy to see them, and he would cry. And once again, my mom and her sisters and Ama and I think Tito Ernie, um, the one brother, they're all there, uh, right by Grandpa, and he's so happy to see them all, and he starts crying through me because of course he did. Uh, so you know, me and ghosts are chill. We're cool like that. Um, but yeah, that's your spooky ghost story, and then I hope you have a lot of trouble sleeping after that. Say what you want about say what you want about whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it's a coincidence. Maybe I was just also just overcome with emotion, whether I was aware of it or not. But someone did cry, and I think it was Grandpa. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it there. Tuesday streams, I think, are just going to be truncated, especially if, like, the 9 to 4 shift keeps continuing at Carl's. If it was 10, I wouldn't mind that much, but, you know. So, next stream is going to be Thursday in the morning, 11:30 to 2:30. Hopefully I don't regret that time slot. Worst comes to worst, I will just also bump it to 11, because I gotta be at the game store to get ready for vending. That's right, I'm vending at the Summerfest here, in collaboration with the game store. I was going to make an announcement on that on Monday, but, things went a little over time, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for the good luck. We're gonna be working on more art. This will probably be ready, to be live on Thursday, and then we'll work on something else on Thursday. I have, like, another sketch that I can do. And, I think that's it. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you those who are here. As always, I had a lot of fun on stream. Always good yapping, always good drawing. And, I will see you guys on Thursday. Love you all. Good night.